Welcome to Innovators, a series where we sit down with thought leaders in the healthcare technology space to talk about news and trends impacting the industry today. My name is Justine Giancola. I'm on the corporate communications team here at Inovalon, and joining me today is Sara DeBella, our very own Chief People Officer. Sara, always great to sit down and chat with you. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, Justine.
Of course. So talking today about hybrid work. We're seeing companies across the globe returning to in-person work. Tell me, what are your thoughts on this shift from that fully remote model we were seeing for several years to this more hybrid approach?
Sure, yeah. So the data that I've seen most recently shows that most roles are no longer fully remote. I think it's around 10 to 15% of open roles are fully remote. So many employers have embraced the concept of a hybrid work environment where you give that flexibility so that some days of the week you have your employees on site, and then it gives you the balance of the time for them to be remote or working somewhere else. I think it's a really great combination. I think it helps to provide the flexibility that workers want so that they're able to do the things that they find enjoyable and rewarding and have that work-life balance, but also it helps us as employers be able to have our employees together, have that collaboration, on-site presence, the energy that you get by being together. It also gives us the ability to look a bit further for our talent pools. So I think there are a lot of benefits to coming back to more of an office model, but still maintaining that flexibility with hybrid work.
Absolutely. And, looking at our space, specifically healthcare technology, what are some of the benefits to both the employer and the employee of the hybrid model?
Sure. So from an employer standpoint, we are able to look much further than where we might have an office location. So for Inovalon in particular, we have offices in 4 different cities. We're able to look across the United States and find hard-to-find talent in locations not in one of those 4 cities. So it gives us a ton of flexibility, and it gives us a bit of a competitive advantage to go find great talent. From an employee standpoint, what we're seeing is many employees do like being together, but they don't necessarily want to do it every day. And driving into an office 5 days a week can be challenging for many individuals. And so with hybrid work, it gives that flexibility of coming in and being together on site a few days a week, but then preserving that ability to have your life and, pick up your kids from school and be there in those moments that are important to many individuals.
Yes. I mean, as someone I live next door to Tampa office, I love having the flexibility to be home when I need to, but also be around people. I think, the way Inovalon is doing it has been really great. So can you share what the model looks like here and how we're approaching hybrid work and hybrid hiring?
Sure. So the model that we're using at Inovalon is 3 days a week, and we have a core day. So Tuesday's the core day, and then we ask associates to come in one other day, either Monday or Wednesday. And the thinking of having it earlier in the week is we kind of get together earlier in the week. We can get bigger meetings, collaboration, sort of off our to-do list, and then think about more external-facing meetings. But so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we ask associates to come in 2 of those days, with Tuesday being a core day where we ask everyone to come in on Tuesday. And so that's the approach that we've been following. We expect associates who live within 50 miles around one of our offices to make that commute in 2 days a week. And then from a hiring standpoint, the way that we've positioned it is we really think about the role. And so as an example, a sales role needs to be closer to the customer. So that's not one that we're typically going to be looking in one of our office locations. But for other roles, we do typically want to find that talent in the market first. And so we'll take a local market approach first, where we're looking where we have one of our offices. And then if we're not able to find the talent pool around the office, then we do open it up to the rest of the United States. So I think it's a really measured approach. We think about the role, where does it need to be? Can we find the talent near an office location? And if we can't, then we'll look across the United States.
It makes sense. And, I think we have, certainly at Inovalon, a lot of people who are excited about this return to the office part-time. But, sometimes it can be hard to generate that excitement. So what are you seeing kind of being most successful at generating the excitement, getting people to want to shift back to that in-person work? Other organizations are probably looking to do the same thing that we're doing. So what might you tell them that could help make this shift more successful?
So I think it's a lot more than just having people come back on site. We've really tried to think about being more intentional about the times when we are together and prioritizing those in-person meetings. And so it makes me really sad if I come into the office and, as an example, I'll see people sitting at their desks with earphones on or in an office on a Zoom call. really the point of being in the office is that time together and accelerating our collaboration, having that idea sharing, and really having that energy of being together that we get by being around other human beings. So I think employers, and what I have seen more successful here, is having either events, food, bringing people together over food, having a luncheon, talking about your mid-year performance management conversations and doing those in person, prioritizing your one-on-one so that you can do those in person. The other thing that I've seen is that initially I think employers just felt like we could ask people to come back and everything would sort of return to normal. What we found is that we really have to be thoughtful about the days that we are here and do things like, should we have a coat drive or do some other sort of community-oriented activity? And so it's been a multi-step process. The first step was just asking our employees to come back to the office. The second step was helping them to understand why it's important for us to be here together. And then as an employer, I think the third step is making sure that we have intentionality and we're driving that intentionality of when we are here, here's some things that make it more meaningful to be together. Let's have a performance conversation. Let's think about how we can be philanthropic and give back to our community together. So those are the things that I feel like are going to really resonate more and help employees to remember why it is so great to be together.
Absolutely. And again, as someone who loves to be in an office, loves to be around people, and is loving to see us really adopt this hybrid model, I'm very excited to see what we have next, and of course, wishing luck to all of those organizations who are adopting the same approach. Sara, thank you so much for sitting down with me today, and to everyone who dialed in to listen to this series. Thank you so much, and be on the lookout for our next Innovator session coming soon.